Hello, hello. And welcome to the 100th video on PepTalks. I can't believe I've already done 100 of these. So I wanted to do something a little different here. Specifically, I wanted to let you guys get to know me a little bit. I haven't really done anything too personal on my channel yet. I'm pretty sure that you guys have not figured out my name yet, which is cool. But if this is 100% true, my name is Pepper. It's my last name. And yeah, hence where the Pep Talks comes from. Not really sure if I want to give out my full name quite yet, but you know, it'll come up soon, I'm sure. But yeah, no, I wanted to kind of give you guys the little bit of the background of the channel, and also it probably makes a lot more sense now that, you know, that's my name. But if you guys in chat need to refer to me to anything, just refer to me as Pep and I'll respond to you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a live stream coming up here soon. I'm gonna be simulcast on Twitch and YouTube, so look out for that coming up. I plan on going live at about 2 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, possibly do some special streams, and also going to still be doing my High on Politics show. High on Politics, if you haven't checked out my channel yet, it is my long form show that I just kind of like to, you know, get high and enjoy the, you know, some political stories from the day, you know, tackle some fun stuff and just have some, you know, little fun discussions and tell some stories and, you know, kind of do that thing, and also just, you know, partake with the audience a little bit. So if you guys want to check that out when I do it, I definitely appreciate having you know, some friends engaging and partaking with me. But I always reiterate, drugs are bad, kids. Let's not do drugs. If you do not live in a legal state, I do not condone, you know, illegal partaking. So just make sure that you're, you know, smoking your water pipes for tobacco use only. And yeah, always keep them clean. Actually, you know what? Little trade secret. I use just 90% isopropyl alcohol mixed with iodized salt. I use 2 parts alcohol to 1 part salt. So let's just give it a little dash, and then, you know, depending on how big your water pipe is, you might need to give it a little, you know, an extra dash of the salt. So obviously give it that little dash extra of the alcohol too. But then yeah, plug it up, shake it up, and you're good. Also, I like to use paper towels because when it gets a little bit of alcohol on, if you have anything like nasty on the outside, you can clean that too. So, obviously, I do like to partake a little bit. You know, I'm also, yeah, I'm pretty shameless about that. But also wanted to formally introduce my co-host here, even though he is looking off camera just a little bit. Hey, buddy. Hey, come here. He's being lazy, but that's my buddy. His name's Stan. He is a very good boy. He is a Foxhound mix. He's about 6 years old, and yeah, he's a chill little dog. Well, all right, that may be a lie. He's a bit much. He's got a voice on him. I'm sure if you guys are familiar with my content, then you have heard him upstairs, which I have a pretty substantial noise cancelers on the system, so it's impressive that he pops up the way that he does. But yeah, he is definitely a pistol. I also got myself a 13-year-old lab. I will actually be posting a video of her coming up here just because she has a special situation with Cushing's disease, where she's been diagnosed formally for about 2.5 years. And it was one of those things where they kind of speculate she had it for a while, but we just never could tell until it just hit her, where just she gradually started losing lots of weight. It was a rapid weight loss where it happened within like the span of a month. And all of a sudden she started losing hair, and her energy was, you know, almost nothing. And then she was kind of peeing on herself, which I'm like, this is weird. And leave it to some people to just be like, yeah, she's just old, you know? She was about 10 years old at that point. And yeah, man, she, it was bad. But she went on a holistic treatment and totally rebounded. I'm talking full rebound. And also with the weight loss, her joints actually kind of got saved from that. It was almost like a weird saving grace. So it was kind of interesting. You know what? So she's still kicking, she's doing real well. We're gonna try and get as much time with her as possible. Obviously, keep her comfortable. But she's such a good girl. I've posted pictures of her on my socials here, my community page. I also got my kitties. I like to post a lot of videos of my cats. Most of my shorts are going to be cat content. Trying to kind of toy with how to work my political content into it, but we'll see. I kind of just like having my my chill day where I can just kind of put a cat short up and enjoy that, and have you guys enjoy that, because every once in a while you need a break from the politics. You know, that's one thing that I'm gonna try and work on a little bit. Incorporate some gaming and some other, you know, maybe some comic talk or something eventually, depending on, you know, my audience, depending on what you guys want to talk about. But I have a wide array of interests, so if you're interested in comic books, comic book movies, most TV shows, sports, football I'm kind of into, but hockey, I'm a big hockey guy. So if you guys want to talk hockey, wrestling, you know, professional wrestling, I am into. My boy CM Punk here. If you have not seen my CM Punk, also I am a Chicagoan. I think that I've made that pretty clear in my content. If my accent doesn't already give it away, which I try to keep up with the Midwest broadcasting accent, where occasionally I'll let it out. You know what? If you're gonna come over here, let's go get a beef, and then I'll tell you to go fuck yourself. But it means that I'm being nice. Okay. I mean, also, you want fucking ketchup on that hot dog? Go fuck yourself. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to. It's the stereotypical, you know. But also, if you guys do come to Chicago, just know this. You know what? Skip Portillo's altogether. If you can, make your way out to Superdog, best hot dog in Chicago. I know it's subjective. I know I'm gonna get a lot of people that live in this region that are gonna be like, "What, Gene and Jude's?" Or, you know, if any asshole says the Wiener Circle, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call you like I see it. You're a fucking asshole. Like, there are much better dogs in this city than that. One of the best restaurants, however, is a place called Rico Benny's. It's on the south side, and I don't know why I say it like that. It's Rico Benny's. They have it's oh my gosh. It's like not chicken fried steak, but it's kind of like that. It's like a fried steak sandwich, but it's fucking amazing. Yeah, definitely, you know, if you guys are ever looking for some food suggestions, I can also offer you those. I'm pretty in tune with that stuff. Also, I'm interested in covering some comedy content, as you guys have, if you haven't seen my Joe Rogan videos and you guys like, you know, just kind of laughing at Joe Rogan and how ridiculous he is and the people that he hangs out with, then I got some content for you. Full disclosure, I was a fan, and I wasn't just like a passive fan. I would listen to his podcast almost every time he would release one. Up until like 2020-ish. Got a little crazy. But it's funny for everybody that's like, yeah, it was the COVID content that turned me off. I was like, yeah, it was actually him moving to Austin that turned me off. Because like there was this weird disconnect from the Comedy Store that just automatically kind of shifted his thought process. And And then just like the whole being out of touch shit, that kind of it does resonate a little bit. Where the more money a comic makes, the more out of touch they get. Tom Segura is actually one of his buddies is a good example of this, where just the richer he got, the less funny he got. Sam Kinison was like the comic though that they used to bring up about that, where it's like he had like the quintessential comedy show as far as his comedy hour. And then the next one he released was it was like this bombastic concert, and it was awful. He was messed up throughout half the entire show. So, oh boy. But yeah, I'm kind of floored that, I've done 100 of these already. I'm only 2 months in. If you guys haven't figured that one out, just, I don't expect everybody to go and do like a forensic accounting of my my YouTube page. So, yeah, I've only been doing this since August 13th was the official start date. When I started putting this page together. I think that my first broadcast actually might have been later than that. I feel like it was like the 23rd. Whatever. I know I got an anniversary coming up here, so 3 months. Yeah, right. Crazy. Or 2 months. 2 months. Yeah, no, 2 months. Because September was first month. This will be my second month. Yeah, because I can math. That's another thing that you guys should get to know about me. I'm not exactly the math whiz. So if we get to a portion where you guys do the math quicker than me, do not feel any shame to do that math for me and get it out there quicker, because honestly, I'll take it. Yeah, I'm real fun to play D&D with. Trust me. That's another thing you guys can discuss with me. I mean, I'm like, obviously, if you didn't know what these are my comic boxes. I got my goalie mask. Actually, you know what? This. I'm showing you guys. Yes, I actually had to do a soft retirement because I had a concussion issue. But I'm probably gonna end up getting back into it. I miss it. I'm definitely gonna play some rec. So, oh, I thought I silenced that. My bad. But here we go. This is my goalie mask. I played for a team called the Imperials, so that was our logo. Obviously kept to the Star Wars theme. Darth Maul's my guy. I've always really liked Darth Maul. But here we go. Origin of the name. This was my hockey nickname, so it was kind of one of those things where I was like, yeah, you know what? I guess I should probably just acknowledge that I have a pretty cool name, because growing up with the last name Pepper, you can imagine how many times I was asked to, I was going to be a doctor, how many doctors we have in the family, blah, 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 blah. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band was not exactly my favorite song. I still actually have a little thing with it today where I'm trying to embrace it, but every once in a while I'm just like, I really did take a lot of shit for this. But yeah, you know what? It's one of those things. Gotta acknowledge the name. But yeah, that is the reason that is there. Also, it's a very cool art piece. I had a professional hockey mask artist take care of me. So what else we got here? What else can I let y'all know about myself? I'm a leftist, if you haven't figured that out, although a lot of people would probably argue how much of a leftist I truly am, because I've been called enlightened centrist pretty much from day one I joined this platform. I know that, I've tried to I have tried to explain this as clearly as I can, that I am willing to learn things, so I try not to speak with authority on a subject unless I truly am an authority on the subject. And I've done the hours and hours of research and just kind of, but even with that kind of stuff, you'll never hear me just do argue things to the death. I'm just, I eventually will just get sick of it and be like, hey, agree to disagree, but I don't want to, get to the point where we hate each other and can never talk kind of thing. Unless now, here's where I'll let you know where my line is. Trans rights. If you start saying that, trans people do not have the right to exist, and that we need to, essentially get rid of them kind of thing, or any of that kind of shit, yeah, just fuck right off. Get off this. Take your subscription. Take your views. I don't need you. I'd prefer that you get the fuck out of here because you're just a abhorrent piece of shit. I think that anybody that it can so easily just agree that, yeah, this subsect of people doesn't deserve rights. I'm sorry. That's very close to a certain, mustachioed man and his thought process. But I'm also kind of somebody that tries not to use, that language just flippantly because it muddies the water, and you don't want to do that. You want to try and get your message across as clearly as possible. So, yeah, but I really appreciate you guys checking out my content. It's been kind of crazy to me that just within the short amount of time that I've been on this platform, I've had the amount of engagement that I've had, and a lot of it is so positive. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys giving me actual suggestions on things to watch. I appreciate you guys giving me your what your thoughts are on the subject, especially when you're not just being a blatant asshole. However, you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you the little deets on this one where, yeah, man, definitely got some bots that like to hit my comments. And if they're not bots, damn, like, what are you doing with your time to come to, a guy like 100 viewer Andy and just barrage my page? Like, what are you doing with your life? And even if if I pop up on your front page and then you decide that it's like, I'm going to shit on this guy, I truly am wondering what is going through your brain and why are you such a sad human? Like, come on, man. I've also had a few of the guys where they're just like, oh, you're just a drop in the pond, blah, 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 give up now. Oh, yeah, those ones, like, they couldn't even wait 2 days of me being on this platform to fucking start doing that shit. It's kind of funny. Also, if somebody can explain to me a little bit of the music thing here, because I found some copyright-free, synthwave and lo-fi, which, you know what? Full disclosure, I like that type of music anyway. I always really have. I've always been... I like putting music on that I don't have to think about too hard. I've been a huge jazz fan my entire life, take it or leave it kind of thing. Also with reggae, I love reggae. Was a practicing Rastafarian. I still kind of consider myself a little bit, if we're just talking, the celebration of Mother Nature, but it was the whole Jah thing that kind of, I'm sorry, when it comes down to it, I'm a bit of an atheist. So let's get to that too. Yeah, I am an atheist. I'm I'm not like outspoken Sam Harris style or anything like that, but I did come from a evangelical Christian background. My family, strangely enough, wasn't the ones who were really into it as much. We attended church on Sundays, but my school was a private school. Private evangelical school that swung a little bit towards the culty, just a wee bit. Like when I talk to other people, I was like talking about Pledge of Allegiance. It's like, yeah, we pledge allegiance to the Christian flag. So if you did too, let me know. Also, I can't remember that pledge. Thank God. Oh, but yeah, we used to, no joke. K through, high school, we did that crap. And then when we would sing like the national anthem, we would also, kind of pepper in Onward Christian Soldiers type of stuff. We used to pray around a flagpole anytime that there was an Israeli conflict that we could easily just be like, well, is this it? I'll never forget the one when I was like a real little kid. We did it, and I was like, is this it? Is this the rapture? Like, because we had some people in our church that were really talking it up. So you could probably argue that maybe it was a bit doomsday. So, yeah. So no real big mystery of, when I came out of that. But My politics did. I have a very, unique perspective on politics coming from, it was weird. I didn't know that I was really a right winger until I got out of school. And then I started having my beliefs challenged, like my political beliefs challenged, from my high school civics, which also incorporated a lot of Bible into it. So it's just like, yeah, but, my beliefs are almost like a fundamental part of me. And yeah, well, that should kind of challenge your stance on belief and just how much you can change, because I'm a walking example of it. I used to love me some Jesus, but you know what? Still do. As far as like see Batman there and Spider-Man. I know, like big brain take. But I, you know what? Good lessons are good lessons. But also the fact that it has caused so much human suffering, like objective, tentative human suffering. It's kind of like, go with the bad. Well, there's more bad. So it's also kind of like went to a church that was one of the mega churches. If you could probably guess which one, but I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, it was kind of wacky going there and then having them just be like, you need to give 20% of your tithing. Like that shit was wild to me, especially when they started building escalators with like marble. It was, putting their own coffee shop in there. It was kind of like, oh wow, God loves him some capitalism. That's for sure. Because then you also start reading about how much the pastor makes, and you're just like, he makes how much now? Why? Like, wasn't our pastor supposed to be like the ultimate socialist? But yeah, that's pretty much where I came from, and that's what's kind of I don't want to say dictated, but that's definitely what's kind of made me a little more skeptical on just being told like. Any piece of information now I'm super skeptical on, to the point where I can give you my brief history where I went from the far right to conspiracy theories, specifically 9/11 conspiracy theories. I joined the truth movement. It was kind of cool. And there was a small part of it that was like just the like-minded. Like I understand, believe it or not, why QAnoners, like, they do the caravanning and all that stuff, because there is a fun part of that where you're like, oh, these are like-minded people. We also like, camping, and we like hanging out and doing all this kind of stuff. It's just like, yeah, okay, well. But then, started having my beliefs challenged and started I did kind of have like this weird moment where it was like an awakening where I was just like, no, the government is much more stupid than I'm giving it credit for. Because Gulf of Tonkin, that radicalized a whole bunch of people. And this old internet video called Zeitgeist, that definitely had an influence. But because I kind of continued to see through all that stuff, I got out of it pretty quickly. I was only into it for about 2 to 3 years, and then I got into the Occupy Wall Street movement, where I did cross paths with Tim Pool a few times, but I also knew him from skater circles, and like he was actually like in skater magazines. So yeah, believe it or not, it was one of those times where I was just like, oh, Tim Pool's a pretty cool guy, politically active and a skateboarder. I kind of see myself in him. But then he was a real dick to stoners. Anybody that was a pothead skater, he had this real like, he's better than us kind of attitude. So yeah, I know, hot take, fuck Tim Pool. But also cover some Tim Pool content, ironically. But it is weird to see just like how different, like the different directions we went in from the same place, from Occupy Wall Street. Like, it was very interesting. And yeah, with the Occupy, there was also like, I hate to say it, there was the report that came out when it was like a few years later, and they were talking about how the banks had essentially paid us back with interest. Do you know how much I fought against that information? And that's also why I try not to, like, if I hear counterfactuals or counter information to what I'm already like believe, I try not to just overtly freak out about it, and just be like, okay, well, I try to see where the person's coming from first, and then go from there. But you know what? If I'm being too charitable, you can tell me your opinion on that one. But I really wanted to do this video, and I figured, you know what? 100th video, why not? Well, this is a good one. So, yeah. I am Pepper. It is very nice to meet you guys. It's awesome to have you guys here, especially if you're a subscriber. I am truly so thankful to you guys because you are making a dream come true. Like, it's wild. It is so wild. And I was prepared to maybe get 10 viewers here or there, and just continue to do it. And because I love doing this. This is fun. I did have a little bit of formal training. I went to broadcasting school for a hot minute. But then podcasting became a thing. And it was kind of like, well, what am I doing? You know, if I can just go buy a microphone and start my own podcast, why? But yeah, it's one of those things. So, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Again, I have to reiterate it. I am so thankful for you guys being here. Please, if you guys haven't already, go check out some of my backlogs. I have a lot. I cover a lot of topics, so I'm sure that you can find something that you enjoy. Yeah, and just my big thing is trying not to take yourself too seriously, and let's try and have a little laugh here and there, because that is one thing that I have noticed, especially on the left, where you know, they tend to get very doomer about conflicts in the world and all this stuff, where they kind of forget to enjoy life a little bit and laugh, which I feel sorry for that mentality, that kind of mentality. Like, you need to be able to break from it. And you know what? I understand where a lot of people can view that as being kind of selfish, but you got to reconcile with that. And also, you got to protect your head, man. You got to protect the brain, you know. I totally agree that we were only built to really take in so much information, that social media is just inundating with us with too much, and it's so easy to get lost in it. So, yeah, that's also why, you know, full disclosure, I am not exactly the most active on social media. If you're going to be looking out for me on Twitter, we'll see. But I do have a Facebook. I have a Facebook page for PepTalks, so search that out. I will include the link on my my channel description. So if you guys want to engage a little bit more, that's the place to do it. I know, right? But I don't feel like playing that game specifically, where it's like just going through like Snapchat, all these other things. Yeah. This is kind of what's kept me in what I consider my healthy mode, is the fact that I only used the one social media app, and I only use it for, you know, maybe an hour total per day. So not exactly, you know, always on it. So, but I will always check messages. And believe it or not, I, against my better judgment, have been reading some comments, but also I want to take this time just to say thank you to anybody that's contributed and given, you know, their honest opinions, and, you know, has come to the comment section in good faith, which I know that's like a term that's overused, especially on like online politics circles, but it's true though. Like, a lot of people do come in bad faith just to leave the dislike, leave a shitty comment, and just screw with my algorithm stuff. So yeah, whatever. Go get a life, guys. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys being here. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers, so I really I can't reiterate it enough. The number of you guys that have watched my content's insane to me. So I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.